They do one in Ames, and then they do one.
Yes,
Yeah, downtown.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Sometime I'm going to share that story with
I
you.
would love that.
Because you need to.
Share it with me.
Yeah.
That's how it's working.
Let's get you set up here.
Regardless, so.
Yeah, and you.
I can just advance the
I thought
sides.
about it.
Sorry, I don't know why my.
So we get Sally's up there.
I can, or
There we
if
go.
you go to view, does it?
There we go, there we go,
Sorry,
there we
you're in
go.
Outlook.
My,
Since 2024, so.
my. Yeah, acting funny.
Okay, then I'm just gonna.
Does that work?
Yeah, we'll do it.
And you can just scroll. Let's get out of my email, so you just never know what might pop up.
Right.
I'm at the point now where I have to
Yeah, that's gonna be.
You know what?
Should I go grab my computer?
Let's do this.
We're gonna be fine.
Give us 1 minute,
You
Steve,
get out and
sorry.
feel much right on the screen all day.
Did Amy send that to me?
We can give them a minute.
So usually I get out and go to bars, but. Right.
Verify your identity. You guys got this super protected.
We don't really, it's all new. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Don't worry about it. We're
right.
we're gonna scroll through, it's gonna be fine.
okay. There you go. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Chelsea, I think you can pop that out to full screen. I think you can go full screen on that.
It's not working on my computer. It's going to let me display.
Oh, got it.
What's going on? Sorry about that.
Ready? Okay, we'll bring our 6 o'clock January 12th meeting to order, and we'll begin with roll call, please.
Sarchet?
Here.
Savage?
Here.
Dvorak?
Here.
Hill?
Here.
Otis?
Here.
Item number 3 is approval of the agenda. I'll ask for a motion in a second.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Item number 4 is swear-in ceremonies for the mayor and 2 city council members. We're going to do that right down here in front. Chelsea's going to hold the book, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Please place your hand on the book and raise your other hand. And you're going to, yeah, you can. So you're going to repeat after me. You're going to do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties
discharge all the duties
of the office of, you're going to say mayor, they will say city council,
Mayor, office of Mayor,
for the city of Polk City,
for the city of Polk City,
Iowa, as now and hereafter required by law.
Iowa, as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you.
Oh, yes. I really have to sign my own.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 5, which is a presentation by Bravo of Greater Des Moines. Sally Dix is here. Sally, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you so much and congratulations to all the newly elected or re-elected officials. Thank you for your service. Thank you also for the opportunity to be here tonight. I am Sally Dixon. I'm the president of Bravo Greater Des Moines. We are really grateful to partner with the city of Polk City, and I especially want to thank our newly appointed Bravo board member, Jeff Savage, who will be representing your city at our table in the year to come. I also want to recognize Roxana Curry, who is here representing the Big Creek Historical Society, one of Bravo's cultural partners. So thank you for what you do, Roxana, and for being here tonight. It's a little bit like chewing gum and walking and singing at the same time to try to scroll through the slides so you can see them. For starters, I know there are some new faces at your table. I want to just clarify that Bravo has been serving as the region's Arts Council since 2004. Basically, our job is just to make sure that arts and culture are aligned with everything the region is trying to achieve. The model is actually relatively simple. We have individual agreements with 16 cities and Polk County, and then we leverage hotel motel tax funds to execute a regional strategy to support arts, culture, and community. The hotel motel tax funding makes up 99% of Bravo's annual revenue, and I'm proud to say that we've reinvested more than $70 million on behalf of our partners over the last 20 years. Integral to the success of our model is that Bravo was created and has only ever existed as a regional entity. It's not like a membership organization where you can decide which pieces you like and which ones you want to have a part of. It's an all-in investment in regional strength, and it does benefit every single community that participates. Bravo has always served as the region's Arts Council. I'm pulling up a slide that describes our purpose for you. This is from our original Articles of Incorporation and has stood through every iteration of our 28E agreements, our strategic plans, and our operational plans. Our charge has always been broad-based regional focus on the arts and cultural community and to support the sector in a variety of ways. Some aspects of our work are better known than others, but our charge and our commitment runs deeper than most people understand. It's true, though, that our pathways for meeting this charge have evolved somewhat over the last 20 years, but grant making is still our primary tool for delivering on this promise. Through Bravo, funds are allocated using a thorough and transparent process that includes Bravo board members, community representatives, and cultural partners. And one of the major values of that is it relieves city council members and city staff from having to make decisions about local investments in organizations that are led by your neighbors, your families, and your friends. Last year, Bravo staff spent more than 1,000 hours executing our grant programs to ensure that we're strong stewards of your public funds, and Bravo has adapted our programs to meet changing regional and local needs. In our first grant year, we had a single grant program and only nonprofit organizations were eligible for funding. We now run 5 grant programs, 3 of which are specifically dedicated to the needs of our local communities. We're really proud of this recognition that as a region, we need strong local communities and we need more pathways for individuals to access those funds. Polk City is currently benefiting from 2 of the 5 programs that we have available, and we're really excited to be in great conversations with city staff, Chelsea and the mayor. We had a great meeting and continue to talk about pathways to take advantage of all the available funding opportunities. We know that we're proud of what we do and we're proud of the work that we're doing in partnership with you, but we do recognize that cities are facing immense financial pressures and there are always competing priorities for the dollars that are available. We know that investing in the arts drives creativity and innovation and quality of life, but we also know sometimes that's not enough for local elected officials to make their case on that. We get it. So as elected officials, I want to make sure you have a couple of other arrows in your quiver about why this investment makes such a difference for Polk City and for the region. First, these data are a little bit old. Sorry you can't see it all on the screen. They're from 2022, but the cultural sector is a significant economic driver. The numbers show that Bravo's supports generates nearly more than $309 million in annual economic revenue, and that includes nearly $15 million in local tax revenue generated specifically in the communities that Bravo supports. This is a 70 to 1 return on investment overall, and a 3 to 1 return on investment locally. Without this economic driver, every household in Polk County would have to pay an additional $150 per year to replace lost local and state tax revenue, which puts the burden on residents instead of on visitors paying the hotel motel tax. We also know that our sector has tremendous impact on talent attraction and retention, which is a really big deal for Iowa. Last fall, James Chung presented at the Partnerships Regional Summit and shared that Greater Des Moines has outperformed its competitors in this area over the last 20 years, but it's not guaranteed that that trend will continue. The good news is that research shows that residents who choose a community for quality of life is more likely to be attached to that community over time, and cultural experiences uniquely develop adaptability, communication, and teamwork. These are skills LinkedIn ranks as the most in demand for the future workforce and the least likely to be replaced by AI. So vibrant arts and culture helps attract and retain people, and it nurtures the skills they'll need to perform Iowa's jobs of today and tomorrow. Finally, I could talk all day about this, but I'll leave it to just 3 good points. Finally, another hugely important reason to invest in arts and culture is the impact on education. Of course, today's young people are tomorrow's business and civic and community leaders. And studies show that including STEAM activities in school enhances curiosity and self-confidence and makes those STEM concepts more approachable for more students. Students with access to arts and culture are also 5 times less likely to drop out of school, 2 times as likely to graduate college, and 78% more likely to vote or participate in a political campaign. Each year, Bravo's cultural partners welcome more than 300,000 students to experience youth programming supported in part by Bravo. We also administer a program called Passport to Culture, which provides funding to every single district across the metro to offset costs for field trip experiences or in-school outreach. Last year, Passport to Culture supported more than 800 student experiences for elementary students in the North Polk Community School District. As a regional entity, Bravo was not designed to track local impact on a dollars in, dollars out measurement. It doesn't reflect what we do, and that's not how we're built to talk about our impact. But I do know that hundreds of thousands of residents each year are crossing municipal boundaries to engage in the region's vibrant cultural offerings. And we do know that local data is your job, even if it's not mine. So I want to provide a couple of additional talking points. Last year, Polk City invested about $7,775 in Bravo, and you received grants directly back to your community totaling more than $13,000. It's almost a 2 to 1 return on your investment locally. This does not include all the other ways that Polk City residents benefited from Bravo. We know that Polk City residents are enjoying access to programs, free programs, paid programs, student programs. I do have a 1-pager that I'm going to send to Chelsea tomorrow. There was a typo I discovered on my way in, and I want to make sure we have that ready. But I'll send that to Chelsea tomorrow so you have all this data at your fingertips in front of you. I hope it's clear, though, that every investment that Bravo's making in our region is impacting Polk City residents directly. As the legislature kicks off today, again, I do understand that many cities are facing immense pressures, financial and otherwise, and we appreciate the need for fiscal accountability. But please remember that for the last 20 years, Bravo has effectively leveraged regional resources, and we have virtually no ability to replace lost hotel motel taxes. Cuts made to Bravo funding will not eliminate costs. They will just shift those costs to residents and local businesses, and they will reduce the availability of accessible, affordable programs for residents and visitors to years to come. Difficult choices to be made. We just want to make sure that everybody understands the stakes are high and the consequences of decisions that you're faced with. I know it's a lot of information. I'll wrap it up here. Like I said, I'll send some talking points out to Chelsea. If you don't remember anything I said today, please remember that investing in arts and culture means investing in everything our region is trying to achieve. We have successfully worked together, Bravo and the region, for more than 20 years, and we look forward to continuing to be a strong partner. I'm happy to take any questions tonight. Thank you again for your support, Councilmember Savage. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Sally.
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you to Sally. really look forward to representing the interests of our residents here in the coming year and working with Bravo. So thank you very much again for coming out tonight.
Absolutely.
So if you could remind us, for those, I only know this because I was on the council before, but how we pay Bravo and what that means?
Yep, funding comes from all of our communities in the form of hotel motel tax funds. There are some differences in those ratios at this point. It used to be a flat 2/7. Everyone would pay 2/7. We now have some communities that pay 2/7. Some pay, which is 28.6% for those that don't do the math, 28.6%. Some communities pay 25%. We do have a couple of communities on a flat fee. But as I said, that hotel motel tax makes up 99% of Bravo's revenue. We do not do additional fundraising in a significant way. So we rely heavily on those public dollars to do our work.
Thank you. I just wanted to clear.
So I don't know that I have a question, but I did want to say thank you. I know you talked a lot and it is money oriented a lot of the times, but I know you've provided good counsel to the Historical Society over the past year, and love to see that group grow and have a larger impact with your assistance. And then I know I think you're meeting this week with Missy from
Yes.
Polk City Arts and Culture with the new, I wrote it down so I got it right, local arts and culture program grant.
Yes.
So appreciate the connection there. With that group and the partnership there, it makes it a little bit easier. There's always a discussion of, are we a part of a community, or do we keep all our taxes in-house? And that kind of answers the question from my perspective with that connectivity there. So appreciate that.
Thank you. We are trying to be responsive. We know different communities have different needs, and we were built for one thing, and we're trying to adapt within that mission and purpose to be relevant, and appreciate the continued partnership and opportunity to grow as we move.
Again, thank you, Sally.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to item number 6 on our agenda, which is public comments. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those that are a public hearing. Have we had any cards, Susan,
No, sir.
presented?
No cards.
No, okay. So we'll move on to item number 7, which is consent items. I'll ask for a motion and a second on consent,
So moved.
Second?
and roll call.
Savage,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Moving on to item number 8, which is business items. Item A is first reading of ordinance 2026-100, adding chapter 124 massage therapy business licensing. And Chief has a presentation.
Yes, thank you. In front of you is a proposed ordinance, chapter 124 for massage therapy businesses. The purpose of this ordinance is to identify and address potential businesses that engage in the practice of massage therapy without massage therapy license issued by the Iowa Board of Massage Therapy, and/or are involved in illegal activities such as prostitution and human trafficking. The ordinance includes requiring a potential massage therapy business owner to submit an application to the city prior to operating. This will allow the police department to conduct background investigations on the owners and the massage therapist that would be employed there. We don't have any businesses in town that would be affected by this. I think it's important to have something in place for when that time does come. My recommendation is that council adopts chapter 124. Any questions?
Yes. So reading through the ordinance as you have it written,
Yep.
this mostly looks like a duplication of what's already in Iowa State Code, 152C, I believe.
Okay.
So most of what you have here is already on the books. And the things that I've seen added to it are things that I'm not super thrilled with.
Okay.
First, the first thing that comes to mind is the insurance requirement in there. We don't currently require any other businesses to have insurance beyond what's outlined in their state level guidelines. So I'm not sure why we're attempting to impose this at a city level. I I also don't think that this law is particularly being applied in an even-handed manner. Right now, this only targets specifically massage therapy businesses.
Yep.
And has no accountability for any other business that might provide massage therapy, a chiropractor, a physical therapist, an athletic trainer. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that, again, it's just not being evenly applied. And that is actually a problem in the state level law that I see as well. So it's not specifically the way you have it written here, but again, this is one that's just not being applied evenly. And with that, we also don't do background checks on any other business that applies these same services. And I'm not sure why that wouldn't be applied if that's the way we're going forward with this.
Well, sure, go ahead.
Just want to make sure I've got through the rest of my notes. The final one, I guess, before moving on to a couple of thoughts, is that you've got it written that, Chief, you have the final approval on these licenses that you would give out, and that's different from how we do like liquor and tobacco licensing, where it's you give a recommendation to council whether or not to approve. And I'm not sure why we're changing that up one way or the other. Overall, again, I don't think this is a necessary law ordinance for us to have on the books. Again, it unnecessarily duplicates what's being done at the state level. And ultimately, I don't think it's going to achieve what we want as far as trying to tamp down prostitution, human trafficking, and those things, and rather will just be driving those things underground. Meanwhile, we are effectively discriminating against a business type in a way that we don't against other businesses that provide the same services.
This is pretty similar to what a couple other communities here in the metro have adopted, because they are having issues with these. That's why it's specific to that type of business. I was not aware of the state code, so
It
That's why
mirrors
we're
it.
moving
It
it
mirrors
this
it a
way.
lot. They do licensing for this, so.
Yeah, I guess, if there's an industry that has been manipulated to facilitate prostitution and trafficking, I'm fine. I wouldn't phrase it as discriminating. I would phrase it as appropriate extra prevention. My understanding is we don't have any of these businesses, so it is a preventive statute. If it replicates, the piece about replicating state code, I guess I'm good with, because that empowers us to do what the state may not do just because it's on their code, when the rubber meets the road, so to speak, on this coming through. So if you've seen this implemented elsewhere, I would rather have this as a discourager to those folks that are willing to come in without the requirements and have the prostitution and human trafficking. By adding these requirements, that may be enough to not have them locate here, which I see a lot of value in.
Chief, perhaps you can help the council by giving them a little bit more information on how many cities are adopting this, which cities, and why they've decided to go this direction?
I don't know for sure how many, but this was brought up at an investigators meeting that my lieutenant attends. And this is what currently Johnston and Pleasant Hill are both using. So I know that for sure. It's the example he had received.
Does this ordinance that you're proposing match theirs?
It's very similar.
Very similar.
Yep.
Is there a reason to not, if we are going to go forward with this, is there a reason to not apply this evenly across all businesses that provide these services?
I guess I don't really see a reason why not, but that would then affect some places here in town already.
We're specifically trying to target a specific use case, right? We're not trying to prevent these other type of facilities from popping.
But again, that then discourages legitimate businesses that might have legitimately want to have a massage therapy business from striking out on their own. It encourages somebody to have to partner with a chiropractor, with anybody else who's providing these, as opposed to opening their own business.
Or they
And
would
I
have,
understand that the barriers that are imposed here are relatively low for a business to strike out with, but it's still an unnecessary disadvantage as far as I'm concerned.
so the disadvantage would be if someone wanted to have a legitimate massage therapist business that was in their own domicile, or, business location, they would have to have insurance.
And get a secondary license that above and beyond what is already provided by the state, they already have to be licensed by the state. There's already the ability at the state level for a police officer to go in and request IDs from anybody. They do background checks at the state level, I believe, already for these types of businesses. There is no state level requirement for them to have insurance, as far as I could tell from reading statute. And my train of thought derailed there as far as the other things. But again, this is a requirement that we're imposing on a specific type of business above and beyond what other types of businesses have to have.
Which again has been known to, be the conduit for this illegal activity. So that seems appropriate to me.
Okay, I disagree on that.
Anything else to add, Chief?
I don't think so.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2026-100.
And I'll ask for a second then.
Second.
And roll call.
Horak.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Otis.
No.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Motion approved. Moving on to item B, East Northside Drive. Thank you, Chief. East Northside Drive intersection and Polk City Junction Trail Phase 1 contract. Travis is giving the presentation on this.
For council's consideration tonight will be two resolutions. The first is adopting the plans and specifications for the East Northside Drive intersection improvement project, or East Northside Drive intersection improvements and Polk City Junction Trail Phase 1 project. So this is the roundabout project that will be taking place at the 3rd and Northside Drive intersection, along with the approximately 3/4 mile of trail from the existing roundabout down to the Kiwanis Park. I think closer to a half mile, but this is our normal process for once we've received bids. The resolution is the difference being that the plans, specifications, and cost opinion were filed with the Iowa Department of Transportation, who then handled the bid letting on December 16th. The bid letting yielded 8 bidders, ranging from just over $1.8 million to just over $3 million, with the apparent low bidder being Absolute Concrete Construction, Inc. of Greter, Iowa. The apparent low bid was 1.1% lower than the engineer's estimate. So the first resolution will be to adopt the plans and specifications, basically officializing the version of the plans that were posted and bid upon by those 8 bidders. The second resolution is award of the contract to Absolute Concrete Construction, Inc. That is written a little bit differently than what you're used to on the public let side. So basically, we would typically do all 3 steps where we would adopt the plans and specifications, award the contract, and approve the contract all at the same time. With the DOT's process, what it is we're going to adopt the plans and specifications tonight. If you so choose to award the contract, you would do that. And then as part of that resolution, you're authorizing Chelsea to execute the contract in accordance with the DOT guidance, and then the council would at a future meeting approve that contract once it's been fully executed by the DOT. Also, as part of that second resolution, you are designating Chelsea Huseman as the city manager, as the person in responsible charge. This is a unique role within a DOT project where essentially she is going to serve as the city's administrative lead on this project. So the person responsible in charge is responsible for visiting the project site frequently enough to understand what's going on the site, guiding or directing the consultants and the contractors in a manner that's consistent with DOT guidance, administering costs, change orders, pay applications, things of that nature. And then ultimately, she's going to be the one that at the end of the project has to say, we as the city believe we executed this in accordance with the DOT's funding agreement. The person in responsible charge cannot be a consultant. It has to be a full-time employee of what is called the LPA, or the local public agency. So as part of that, Chelsea would then direct Snyder and Associates to execute the construction, administration, and observation as approved under our agreements or any future agreements, and then ultimately that would all go funneling back through Chelsea as far as reimbursement requests for the DOT funding and project closeout at the end of construction. So that's kind of the difference in what you're seeing tonight versus what you typically see, but staff recommends adoption of the plans and specifications as filed with the Iowa Department of Transportation, as well as award of the contract to Absolute Concrete for the work on this project. Be happy to answer any questions or discuss further.
Travis, the only reason we need somebody like Chelsea is because of the DOT. Because
Correct,
that's what I
correct. Typically on a local project, that's just like an assumed thing, or it's laid out in our agreement where the responsibilities of Snyder are this and the construction observer is this. The DOT just likes to have that funnel through. Come to find out, it's almost always because of dispute resolution. And having that one singular person to talk to, and then it's their responsibility to funnel it down through.
Thank you.
So that was actually gonna be my question. Dave beat me to it, but that LPA position, is that unique to the DOT requirement? Is that a common thing with DOT?
The local public agency is just their blanket statement for anybody below them in the hierarchy. Not in importance, but so like the DOT, oversees the whole state, and so like the LPA is any governmental agency that is below the state level. So that's counties, it's cities, it's townships, it's anything and everything that's below that, and then the PIRC.
You're right the first time.
Fair. And then the PIRC is the representative of the LPA. The DOT loves acronyms, and you probably won't ever need them ever again, but an LPA is you guys, the PIRC is your representative in the day-to-day operation.
Thank you.
Anything else for Travis?
So we had a range of 1.8 to 3 million for the 8 bidders. It double from low to high, is that concerning?
No, DOT projects see that pretty regularly, because what I will tell you is some of the contractors that were on the upper end were either well outside the metro or typically do highway work. And so that's where you get the variation, is you get some of the local folks that do local city projects all the time, and they're really familiar with them and really comfortable with them. And then you get all the highway guys that just like to pave in straight lines. And they don't want to touch roundabouts. But if they were the only one, they'd be willing to do the work for free.
Yeah, they do it for, I'm sure, and the local guys, I don't know, I'll try as best as I can to refrain from Absolute's more recent roundabout work and the delays that happened, apples and oranges hopefully, but.
Yeah, I guess my question was, is it the same people that did the roundabout over here on?
It is.
Is it?
I cannot tell you for sure if it's the same crew.
Okay.
So that's another unique thing with the DOT, like typically when I'm standing here recommending award of a contract, I've at least talked to the contractor. DOT regulation doesn't allow us to talk to our contractor until the contract is fully executed.
Because you're below them.
Okay. Anything else for Travis?
Really excited to finally get this project started. Do we know when we think they're going to actually kick off this thing?
The hope would be is that the contract would be executed if awarded here in the next month or so, to set the table for them to start when weather allows. And then what I will tell you is the DOT, or the proposal as prepared, has roads open to traffic by, it's the Monday before August 15th. I can never remember what the exact date is, with full project completion by the end of November. With the idea being, let's not start the new school year with a roundabout all torn to heck, so.
Okay, any other questions of Travis? Hearing none. Let's go ahead with item B1, resolution adopting plans, specifications, form of contract, and opinion of probable construction cost. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call.
Hill,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Item B2, resolution approving construction contract to Absolute Concrete Construction of Granger, Iowa. A motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Thank you, Travis. Moving on to item C, approve job description for fire lieutenant and authorize the fire chief to advertise for the position. Chief, hello.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. What you have before you tonight is a request to move a planned full-time fire department position from July 2026 to January 2026. Due to ongoing staffing shortages, increased workload, and continued growth in call volume, the need for this position has become immediate. While this position was already planned for next fiscal year, advancing it helps address the current operational demands. So what I'm proposing tonight is that we hire a full-time lieutenant. This position would provide shift coverage, supervise a full-time staff, and reduce the workload of the fire chief, improving daily operations and leadership coverage. The city manager is supportive of the position pending a budget amendment, which is expected to be considered in February. Converting a part-time firefighter paramedic to full-time lieutenant for 5 months in fiscal year '26 is projected to cost approximately $22,000 more than continuing with part-time staff. This additional cost will be covered by using surplus funds from the group insurance account, resulting in no increase to the fiscal year 2026 budget. And then to maintain this full-time lieutenant position in fiscal year 2027, it is estimated to cost approximately $133,000 in salary and benefits. And then part of this cost will be offset by reduced part-time salaries, workers' comp, and orientation expenses, resulting in a net impact on fiscal year 2027 budget of around $40,000. So tonight I recommend approving this request now, and I ask that we can start advertising this position so we can have this individual hired once the budget amendment is approved. The job description is also attached for your review. Thank you for your consideration and your continued support. Any questions?
Council?
So the change here, well, a couple parts to it. So first, we're changing a fourth full-time paramedic to the lieutenant position. And this was not in our long-term staffing plan, correct?
A firefighter paramedic was in the staffing plan for fiscal year 2027. And I'm asking to move it up by 5 months.
Okay, and change it from a
To a
full-time to a
lieutenant.
lieutenant? Okay, so we will not be hiring that position, the fourth,
Correct.
paramedic firefighter position.
Moving that position, yeah, from
With the
July.
hopes that they will be a paramedic and firefighter and maybe
Correct.
absorb some of those. Okay, so the real increase is that 22,000 you mentioned, right? Or whatever that, did I get that right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do think it would behoove us maybe, and we're going into budget season, to revisit that staffing plan and some of the changes that, I mean, there's estimating actuals for everything, so if we need it now, we need it now, and I'll trust that judgment. And and approve it, but I would maybe like to do some reconciliation of what the plan was and how it actually manifested.
Yeah, I agree on that too. I know I had conversations with Chelsea about that. I do want to say, Chief, that appreciate all you do. I know you put in a lot of extra hours above and beyond. So this is, for me, a no-brainer, that it needs to happen now as soon as possible. And again, just want to thank you for all of your extra time putting in, but would like to evaluate, our staffing plans as we move forward, like Rob said, to make sure we can probably target these things a little bit more accurate to the best of our ability, but totally support this decision.
Anyone else?
I just want to say that very impressed with the facility, what the buy-in that your folks have brought to the facility and the hard work, and could not agree more with my constituents on your need and getting you look tired. No, I mean.
I did transport a patient at 2 a.m. last night, so I am tired.
It's true.
Just strike that from the record.
A better time.
So, yeah, I mean, absolutely, thanks for all you do, and I think it's a no-brainer as well.
Don't necessarily need anything from this end of the class, but if you've got something, mic drop.
As she's outlined in their reports, we've had times where we haven't had the adequate staffing to cover. We've had an ambulance out and we've had calls that Ankeny have had to respond to. This is definitely a need that we need to start covering.
Okay. Whoops.
Got it.
Okay, let's move on then. Item C, let's,
Thank you.
motion to approve job description for fire lieutenant and authorize the fire chief to advertise for the position. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
All right, moving on to item number 9, reports and particulars. Is there anything from staff? Hearing nothing. How about from the city manager?
I don't have anything. Thank you, Mayor.
Council?
Glad to see the new fire apparatus out and about. I definitely saw it out gassing up the other day, the new truck. Have yet to see the ambulance out running about, but I did get a chance to walk through that last month and it looked great.
So I do have one thing, Chief Sepker, I want to kind of call you out, but I do want to congratulate you and your entire department on the, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but on the ILEAP accreditation. I believe that is a voluntary accreditation, I can't even say that you went through. Love to talk to you about it a little bit more, but happy to see that you guys were able to accomplish that and should be happy for our residents.
I was gonna say something nice about Chief Holgrave before Dave's rude comments, but I'll try and beef it up a little bit. Two things with the chief. I wanted to call you out. Leadership sometimes is recognizing that someone deserves recognition even though they say they don't want it and doing it anyway. And that was on display Friday. Had a little reception for Deb Wilkinson, who retired from the fire department after 40 years of doing everything you could ever imagine for an EMS firefighting outfit. And I appreciated you digging through the records, or what passes for records, going back to 1992 and maybe 94, if I'm getting this right, where she was the high responder for those years. And probably some other years that the records didn't hold up as well for, but, really appreciate, Deb's time and, influence that is probably generationally lost, that motherly, concerned about everything, scared about everything, influence that the fire station, experienced directly. But her and Jack did a really good job for a really long time, and, most recently with billing, so pick that up. But appreciate your handling and the association's handling of her last days with the department last week.
A couple quick things, Mayor, sorry.
Okay.
They're in the packet, and so the Tree City USA, it used to be a big deal. It is still a big deal, but it used to be like a presentation for those that were here. I was 10 years ago. Ken Norris used to bring it in. I think, Jason, can you remind, is it 30 some years of the Tree City USA Growth Award? Yeah. And that's a lot more, there was a lot more to it than just, hey, we're Tree City USA. So I just wanted to thank you for keeping that going. thank Ken Morris for the past however many years he's been in town. A lot of the trees that we've seen that are within that time frame, he's planted, or his group has. So wanted to thank you for that. Also, was able to last Monday go and to the training for the police department. They did some scenario training. It was really cool at the old city hall. So the old place where we used to sit and have meetings are now like having active shooter scenarios. It was all hands-on, paint guns, and they look like they kind of hurt, honestly. It's a 9mm, but I really appreciate the invitation to come. But we have some professional, very well-equipped, very smart officers that I'm just very proud to have on. And that was an amazing training, so I would recommend anybody that's able to go. It's really neat. I didn't partake, I just watched, but thank you for that.
Anybody else? Okay. The only thing that I will mention is that each year at the beginning of 2026, I'm invited to come to the, I guess it's now the Polk City Chamber of Commerce luncheon and give sort of a state of the city presentation. And I'm doing that this week. It's at 11:30 at TCI. Lunch is provided, but you have to buy your own lunch. So I'd welcome anybody who'd like to come to that. So I'll just mention that. Other than that, the next item on the agenda, number 10, is adjournment. So I'll ask for a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.